Hello, my name is Adriana. I'm from Romania and I'm 34 years old. I'll try to explain to you a little bit why I decided to become a teacher and did I choose languages. So, I basically studied languages all my life. So, I started when I was 8 with French and then I continue with English, so I can say that I'm a language lover and I like a lot working in every language I can. So here I am trying to impress you a little bit. So I started, as told you, I started with languages very young, and then all my life I try to repeat. I have a degree in French philology and also in Romanian philology, and in addition I have also English. So I chose languages because I think that it's a good way to make your way in life, and I think that it's a very interesting thing to know the languages of other people. So what can I say? I started working with children 5 years ago, and I fell in love with it. And I will try my best to give away all my knowledge, and I'll try to make them like languages as much as I like them. I like it, and I work with children from 4 to 15 years old, so I don't have so much experience with babies, but it's something that we can do. But I can say that I like it very much. For today class, or let's say, how can I explain to you a 90 minutes class in my vision? Well, I first of all I will start with a little bit of warm up, like 10-15 minutes. It depends on the students, on their abilities, and we will try to say one by one what do we think about the anterior class, what do we think that we can improve, what can we do better, and then we will try to enter a little bit in the topic of the class we will try to present. Then I chose for today a comparison about between present simple and past simple. Let's make it like a 90 minutes class. So as I told you, first of all, with 10-15 minutes, it depends on the students, we'll try to go into the meaning of what this part of grammar do, and after warming up we'll try to make it a little bit profound, and we'll try to give I don't know, a definition, for example, for each tense, and to explain the meaning and the use of the two tenses. For example, we can make it like 30 minutes explanation and comprehension about what present continuous mean, for example, and what present simple means. And then we'll continue with a little bit of practice. I don't know, let's say some role playing using the two tenses, some exercises, for example, some listening and fill the gaps, for example, with the two verbs, comparing the two of them. This could be around, I don't know, almost 30 minutes. In this hour, we'll try to combine and to explain as better as we can, as much as we can. For example, what is present simple, what is present continuous, for example, because we chose this topic for today class. And then after finishing all the basic explanation and all the profound explanation, we will try to answer questions about our doubts about what we didn't understand, what we can change, or what we need to practice more, for example. And we will save the last part of the class, for example, to be a little bit more relaxing, to do a lot of speaking, to interact between teacher and students between them, to try to do speaking leading into the next class purpose, and trying to do our best to make it through the class and go home with a full understood class. So this will be more or less a 90-minute class, because we'll have a warm-up for 10 minutes, we'll have grammar with explanation exercises, and all that means the big stuffy grammar part, like an hour. Then we will keep like 10 minutes to answer all the misunderstanding and all the things that we need to do better. And then we will prepare the 10 minutes of the last 10 minutes of the class to relax a little bit and to say what we understood, what we didn't understand, and try to make it better. And so now we'll try to simulate this class. I know that it will be a class for a B2 or B1 level. I don't remember exactly, but I think a B1 level. But as you know it, all tenses in English will raise a lot of difficulty in order to understand better, in order to use it better, in order to know when to use one tense, when to use another tense. So I chose for today, as I told you, present simple, present continuous. So what I would like to show, I prepare some flashcards. So yeah, as you can see, a little bit explanation. What is present simple? As you know, present simple is the simple form of the verb. Actually, is the active form, the simple active form of the verb. So we use present simple in general for things in general, or for things that happen repeatedly. So we will have like a table. We will have actually a line with present. We have the past, we have now, and we have the verb I do, for example, or I am, or I know, or I feel, and then the future. As you know, we normally use present simple for permanent situation. So, or true general truth. For example, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So we will ever use present simple, because it's something that we know it for sure. It's not something that we invented. So what else? For example, a statement that says it doesn't rain too much in summer. It's good. It's a statement. It's true. It's repeatedly. It's something in general. Also, to compare it with present continuous, we know that present continuous is used in general for things that are happening at or around the time of speaking. And you know that we have an action that is not complete. So, as we have here in this small flashcard that I prepared for you, I have the line with the past, now the present continuous that I am doing, and the future. We know that we use present continuous, also use present continuous for temporary situation. I am living with some friends until I find a place of my own, for example. It's true, I won't live with them forever. I'm only living with them until I'll find something of my own. So, as you know, present simple normally is used with expression like every day, every morning, every year. It's something that you do all the time. I go to work every day. I have breakfast every morning, for example. Some adverbs, for example, that we use with present simple. I always go to work by bus. It's something, it's a general truth, it's something that you do it repeatedly, you are doing this day by day. So we use adverb like usually, normally, always, very often, for example. Comparing with present continuous, we see that in present continuous, that we know that is a tense that is talking about things that are happening at the moment of speaking. Well, we will use expression like this week, this day, or this year. There are periods around now. I'm going to the gym this week. You know that is something that you will do it. When? This week. For example, I'm writing a letter at this moment. What are you doing now? I'm writing a letter. When? Now, at this moment. So, as we can see, a little bit comparison between present simple and present continuous. You can see that when you use every day for present simple, you use this day for this week or this morning or today for present continuous. One thing that we miss to say is that the formation of present continuous, that I think that everybody will know it, that present continuous is formed with the present simple of verb to be. I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, you are, they are, plus present participle of the verb that we are using. What is present participle? As you know, present participle is the verb in ing, finishing in ing. So what can we say? More stuff about comparing these two verbs. For example, when we are doing the questions about the two verbs, when we have a question about present simple, you know that we have to do it using the auxiliary to do. I eat. Do I eat? For example, when you use present continuous and you have to have a questions, as we know that the verb to be is an auxiliary itself. So if you are using I am eating an ice cream, you will put the questions am I eating an ice cream? The same thing goes with the negative form. For the present simple, you know that we use the auxiliary to do. For example, I work today, I don't work today. In the case of present continuous, for example, you know it, you know that, as I said, you have to use only the verb to be, so the verb to be that is independent. You have to put the negative form, like I am not working today. Okay, so basically it's a little bit of understanding and it's a little bit of practice. So I know that it's a little bit confusing for a lot of students, not only the beginners but also advanced people. So I think that it's a good way to try practicing more. So what can I say? For example, what do I have left? For example, in case of present continuous, we also have let's say a list of verbs that we are use almost always to express present continuous. For example, the verb to get. You are saying I'm getting hungry, let's go eat something. You don't say I get hungry. Okay, so a difference between, for example, the verb increase, to increase. For example, the world population is increasing very fast. Comparing with present simple, every day the world population increases by about 2,000 people. Okay, it's a fact that we know that we have the number 2000 people for present simple, that you know that increases every day with this amount of person. But in the case of present continuous, you know that the world population is increasing, but you don't know about how many people or in how many years. You know that is something that is going to pass every day of our life. So you know that this is a demonstrative class. So I have a lot of things to say about present simple, present continuous, that can lead into the comparison about past simple, past continuous, that basically is more or less the same, only that we talk in the past. But let's focus before let's try to understand better present continuous and in present simple. And I will try to suggest, for example, this is a small class. It's not a 30 minutes, 90-minute class. So in a 90-minute class, we have a lot of charts. We have a lot of, I don't know, flashcards as I show you. We'll have a lot of, I don't know, fill in the gaps. We'll have a lot of listenings, and then trying to fill in with present simple, present continue. We'll try to do, as I said, a role play between in order to understand better. So I think that I don't know if it's too short or if too long, but I think that the point is that all the students have to leave the class with a full understanding of these two concepts. The main purpose of the class is to have it very well explained and to have it very well understood in order to manage better into all the grammar of this language. So thank you very much. I hope that it was okay. I hope that you find it very interesting, and you find entertaining. It's not so entertaining because I didn't use all the things that I would normally use in a class because I don't have the space, I don't have the time. Normally it's more dynamic, it's more like laughing, answering, competing, and what else? I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. This was my presentation. And that's it. Thank you. Goodbye.